You must go and watch this movie if you are an English speaking teenager or a mature working couple or a bored rich loner or a huge fan of Hugh Grant or are perhaps like me who has an element of all of the previous types of the folks I mentioned. Otherwise, strictly not. Not even on the channels later, because it will sound awful when dubbed in the other languages. Because, after all, why does one watch Hugh Grant movies at all? It is because the way he speaks English with his immaculate British accent and diction, which oozes charm, and you wish you could speak like him. Now, coming to the minor point about what the movie is all about, Heretic, well, it is about a psychopath, Mr. Reed, played by Hugh Grant, who hates everybody preaching religion. Couple of young girls who are encouraging people door to door to join the church of a particular kind land up at Mr. Reed's house. The two girls are Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton. Sister Barnes has been played by Sophie Thatcher and Sister Paxton by Chloe East. While Sister Barnes is the confident one, Sister Paxton appears timid. Mr. Reed, in the typical charming style, lures them to come in pretending that he has his wife cooking blueberry pie and then traps the girls. What follows is what lets Hugh Grant or Mr. Reed display his acting and oratory skills, which becomes creepier by the minute and every bit eerie as the girls find themselves trapped in a dungeon in the basement of Mr. Reed's house. Apparently, they're not the only ones there. The question we grapple with is, can they ever come out? I leave it to you to find the answer to that question by watching the movie. Both the sisters, played by Sophie Thatcher and Chloe East, play their part wonderfully well as the two trapped girls trying to keep their wits in front of the evil Mr. Reed. The movie does raise a few questions about the logic and the purpose of religion, and sometimes the arguments about reality and simulation immediately remind you of the movie The Matrix and its three parts. But then that feeling quickly fades away as the other action takes over. Towards the end, Sister Paxton, who initially appears like a weak character, suddenly comes into her element and almost overshadows Mr. Reed, that is Hugh Grant himself, I thought, and that is quite a feat. While the movie has powerful dialogues when dealing with topics of belief, faith, and religion, I did get a feeling that perhaps the movie would have been even more gripping if Anthony Hopkins had played the role of Mr. Reed. And what if Bollywood actors were cast in this movie? I'm quite positive Nana Patekar would play Mr. Reed very well. Sister Barnes and Sister Paxton, perhaps Alia Bhatt and maybe Shraddha Kapoor. Now, there we go.